Tepaki Waitara, Oeme, Wida, Mbori Storiab, Mdui, and the Mbori tradition. Maui is known as Maui-tikitiki-a-Taranga, meaning Maui, the top knot of Taranga. He was the youngest son of Taranga, a woman of chiefly lineage. Miwai's birth was unusual. Born prematurely, he was wrapped in his mother's tikitiki topknot and placed into the sea, where the ocean carried him away. Instead of dying, he was found by his ancestors and raised with the knowledge and power of the Atua gods. When he was older, Maui returned to his people, appearing one day among his mother and brothers at the village fires. His mother immediately recognized him as the child she had lost. Accepted and resented by his brothers, Maui had 4 older brothers who often tried to leave him out of their adventures. But Maui always found a way to join them, and to outdo them. His magical powers and cleverness earned him both admiration and jealousy. Eme ui fishas ap Aotearoa. One of Mui's greatest deeds in Mbori tradition is Tehinga o Teika, the fishing up of the North Island. His brothers went fishing and attempted to leave Maui behind, but he hid in the canoe. When they reached the deep ocean, Maui revealed himself. He had brought no bait. Instead, he struck himself on the nose and used his own blood to bait his enchanted fish hook, made from the jawbone of his ancestor Morirangui. When Maui cast his hook into the sea, it caught something massive. He chanted ancient karakia, calling upon his divine ancestry. The ocean trembled. Up from the depths rose Teik, the great fish of Maui, what we now know as the North Island of New Zealand. Maui warned his brothers not to touch the fish until he had completed the proper rituals, but they ignored him. They began arguing and cutting pieces away, and their hacking and pulling created the mountains, valleys, and cliffs that shape the land today. The canoe they stood in became the South Island T, and the anchor stone became Stewart Island. Rakan and Mbori tradition, the sun, Tamunui, Tayarbi once flew across the sky far too quickly. People could not dry their clothes, cook their food, or finish their work. Maui decided to slow the sun himself. He and his brothers spent days weaving massive flax ropes, strong enough to snare a celestial being. They traveled to the sun's resting place in the east, where Maui set a trap. When Tomanui Tayarbi rose, Maui and his brothers threw their ropes over him, pinning him down. The sun fought, scorching the ropes, burning the ground, and roaring in anger. Maui struck Tomanui Tayarbi with the jawbone of his ancestor until the sun weakened and agreed. I will move more slowly, so the days will be long enough for your people. And so the daylight hours became what they are today. In Mbori lore, fire came from the goddess Mahuika, whose fingernails each held a spark of flame. Maui, curious and mischievous, asked her for fire. She gave him a fiery fingernail, then another, and another, until she realized he was tricking her. Enraged, she flung fire across the land. Maui barely escaped by summoning storms from his ancestors in the sky. The fire scattered into certain trees, and that is why Mbori people learned to create fire by rubbing the right kinds of wood together. Mdui's last and most ambitious plan was to overcome death itself. He declared that if he could pass through the body of Hainui, the great goddess of night and death, and emerge through her mouth, humans would become immortal. Hainui Tapi lay sleeping, her form huge and fearsome, adorned with obsidian teeth. Mui's companions, birds such as the Tuakawaka fantail, came with him. But as Maui began to enter the goddess, the fantail giggled or chirped, depending on the version, waking Hainui. She crushed Maui between her obsidian thighs, ending his life. From that moment on, death remained a part of the human world.